Okay, so today we are going to be diving into tired and wired and waking mid-sleep. So the thing is that in your um, in a civilian's stress system, we're often told to do certain things, but those things don't work in a first responder stress system. And a lot of different issues start arising. One of the biggest physical stress symptom that I hear from you guys is that you are tired and wired. And when you are tired and wired, um, it's where your mind won't shut off. It doesn't matter how exhausted you are. It doesn't matter if you just did two 24s back to back, and you're at a busy station and you did not get any time. It doesn't matter. Your When you go and you lay your head down on the pillow, your mind just won't stop. It just starts turning and turning with all these thoughts. It could be things from toilet paper. It could be everything on your to-do list. It could be about a crisis call. Like, it could be all over the gamut, but basically what it is your mind will not shut off. And then I also hear quite often, tired and wired is usually the first thing that happens for you guys through years of service. Sometimes it hits 5 years or so. So let me know for you guys when the tired and wired hit. And if the tired and wired hit first, or did the waking mid-sleep hit first? Quite often it's tired and wired first. Waking mid-sleep is a different part of your stress system. So let's dive into them now as to why they're happening. So if I get too sciencey, let me know. I kind of geek out sometimes a little too much, but you have three parts to your stress system. And the one that causes the tired and wired is the hormonal aspect of your stress system. So to break that down, you have adrenals, which sit on top of your kidneys. They are the size of a grape and the shape of a walnut. And so some of you may find that when you are stressed, that you get like an ache in your low back, that low back pain in your kidneys. That's usually your adrenals saying like, hey, I'm pretty taxed and I need a little bit of help here. So your adrenals are in charge of 50 different hormone responses: sleeping, waking, your energy, your stress response, thyroid, cholesterol, gallbladder, your digestion, your colon, your memory, cognitive thinking, short-term memory, your healing, inflammation. All of these things are all your nervous system alignment. All of these are managed by your adrenals. And it often starts with your cortisol, which is your stress energy hormone. And so what happens normally is your stress energy hormone, your cortisol, is highest in the morning when you wake up. But when you're going to bed, it's as you're going through the day, it's high, and it's supposed to lower and lower and lower through your day, usually a bit of a lull around lunchtime. And it decreases so that when it's time to go to bed, that cortisol energy hormone is not floating around in the frontal lobe of your brain, and you're able to fall asleep. But when you're doing shift work all of the time with all of your shifts, that cortisol starts getting completely confused. They're like, when do you want me to sleep? When do you want me up? When do you want me down? It's like you might be sleeping and all of a sudden a call comes for you guys in fire. A call will come and all of a sudden you're telling this stress hormone that it needs to start kicking out again. And it's like, what the heck? You were just winding down. Now you're going up again. So this cortisol, this stress energy hormone, gets thoroughly confused and it has no idea which end is up. And so over time on shifts, you'll get to the point where it's supposed to be highest in the morning, but when you're waking up, it has no idea to do this. So you're waking up feeling disoriented, feeling hungover, and you just can't get going. You need coffee, energy drinks to get you going, which literally are hits of cortisol. So those are giving your body signals that, hey, we need more cortisol here. And then at night, when you're supposed to be going to sleep, this cortisol is sitting in your frontal lobe of your brain, and it's just like hanging it there. So you're starting to think about every thought that you can and can't shut those off. So that is where the waking mid-sleep, or sorry, the tired and wired comes from. When you dive into PTSD, as you guys know, PTSD is not my wheelhouse. I am all this physical stress side. Some people may have a reoccurring thought, a reoccurring nightmare. um, and it's a reoccurring of a certain incident. That is more on the PTSD side. If when you're falling asleep, you're tired and wired is anything and everything, admin stress is all your to-do list, all of those, then that is quite often this cortisol, just having no idea which end is up. And so then that gets us into this mid-sleep. As soon as somebody says that they are waking mid-sleep, my first question that I usually ask them is, do you have sugar cravings? Do you crave sugar or carbs? And there's a reason for that, because this is absolutely, the reason you're waking up mid-sleep has nothing to do with the cortisol. The waking mid-sleep is quite often your glucose. It's your body is running out of glucose. So let's go back to you going to calls all the time. We talked about this, I believe, last week, where your body is still in caveman days. It has never adjusted. So it doesn't know the difference between being on a hot priority call, where you're in a physical foot pursuit, you're fighting a fire, you're trying to save somebody who is, in where you have to physically be active and actually using this physical stress hormone. And it has no idea that between putting on uniform, prepping for your day, between worrying about your kids, between the family guilt, between financial stresses, health issues, any of these things that you may be just worrying about, an email coming in, any of these things, they also elicit a stress response in your body, because your body cannot tell the difference. And the thing is with all of these mental stresses, your body is pushing these out, the stress hormone, but it's also pushing out glucose hormone to give you fuel to fight that fight. But the thing is reading an email or thinking about financial stresses, you don't need glucose to fight that. So your body has to clean it up again. And over time of it sending it out and cleaning it up, sending it out and cleaning it up, your brain sits there and says, what the heck are we doing? This is ridiculous. Why are we sending this out? Why don't we turn down our glucose? And while we're at it, why don't we store a little around your middle? So also, one of the mid-sleep waking is when I usually ask as well, do you have a little bit of weight? Do you have some weight around you that you haven't been able to lose? You may have tried every diet out there, every way of eating. You may have done every single exercise and done everything by the book that you've been told that a civilian needs, but that weight around your middle is just not going anywhere. And quite often that is because your stress system has been taxed for so long, your body has gone into this glucose storage mode, and where it stores it is right around your middle. And then what happens is you're supposed to have enough storages for 8 hours of sleep. And with that, 8 hours of sleep, 8 hours of sleep and 4 hours of just regular activity during the day. So you may find you're starting to get hangry more often because your body is running out of blood sugars. It's not able to stabilize them. And that 8 hours of sleep, you're starting to get where you start waking up at 7 hours and then 6 and then 5. We have guys coming to us that every 2 hours, 1 to 2 hours, they're waking up. And so quite often it's their blood sugars have just been flying. And those are the guys as well that have sugar and carb cravings, that have that weight around the middle that they can't lose. And all of this is tied to your stress system. Okay. So you're probably sitting here and asking, like, what the heck do you do about it? First off, actually, let me know, how many hours at a time do you guys get to sleep? Are you waking up after 4? Are you waking up from 6? Is it consistent? Is it more on your shifts versus days off? What is your sleep like? How long does it take you guys to fall asleep? Let me know, because this is always helpful, and it helps me in being able to know really how to be directing you guys. So fixing this, there's obviously different steps for each. So we have to go into each system and really look at them. When we go into the cortisol in the frontal lobe of your brain, there's a couple of things that we do. We check and see which minerals you're off in, and it's different for different people. So we usually do some testing for that to find out what minerals are you off in that are affecting some of that cortisol. There's also a couple of minerals. There's magnesium. Being very cautious. Magnesium citrate loosens your bowels. That's not the one you want to be getting. It'd be more of a magnesium biglycinate is the one that will help to calm that frontal lobe of your brain. Definitely check with your rules and regulations in your area as far as dosages for where you're at, and always, always, always make sure that you get a very good quality, reputable brand. What I mean by that is making sure that it's a brand that is third-party tested, that it's not tested in-house. So we've got, like, I'm trying to think of ones in the States, Popeyes, I think the Supplement House, a lot of them, they do a lot of their own brand names that are less expensive. And we have Shoppers Drug Mart here. They have their own brand names, but a lot of them are tested in-house, which means they can skew the results. They add a lot of fillers to make it less expensive. So what you're getting is not what's in it. So make sure you're getting a good quality brand. And that's what helps the cortisol. That's a loose term. That's what may help your cortisol. Okay. I don't want to give any promises because there's a lot more to it than that. That's usually one of the first things that we do, but we also go in and start regulating your cortisol so that it knows to go up in the morning. But that we actually need to go through an in-depth health history questionnaire with you to understand what medications, health history, all of your symptoms, because there's so many different ones. Like magnesium will calm that frontal lobe of your brain at night, but if your cortisol is still off and you're not waking with it and you're not going into the right rhythms with it, that may not work as well either. But we can't, that's why what we do in the program, I want to give you these answers, guys. I so do, but I can't, because then I'm liable, because we need to really dig into your health history. There's contraindications with prescriptions. There's contraindications with health history. Also, if you get onto the wrong one of them will either help to increase your burnout and the other one will lower your overdrive. So if you're taking the wrong one, it can totally set off your system and cause a lot of issues. So we really make sure what we do in the program is we go in right away. Actually, the first 2 weeks is get the magnesium biglycinate, but we also get you on a specific supplement based on your symptoms to get that cortisol start to go into a regular rhythm again. And we teach you how to do it on night shifts, days, mids, how to work it all the time so that your body always knows when it needs to be turning on and when it needs to turn off. Very different from prescriptions in that prescriptions pretty much numb your brain, and there's no way that you guys can be safe on a call if you're taking a prescription when you're sleeping at the fire hall. But this here is absolutely natural and just teaches your body how to get into that natural rhythm on a regular basis based around your schedule. So going into the waking mid-sleep, as I said, that's glucose. There's a lot of steps that are involved in that, but there's a Bandaid solution to start off with. So I'm going to give you guys the Bandaid solution right now. That is also going to tell you if it is blood sugars. So that is having a high fat, low carb snack before you go to sleep. And if you wake up mid-sleep, have a high fat, low carb snack. I want to put it out there that I am not saying a high fat, low carb diet is something to be on all the time and all over the place. We work with people that are on keto in our program, but they've come to keto and they want to be on it. I could never do it. It would never work in my lifestyle. I like carbs. I like to eat. I like balance in my food. We work with anybody basically on whatever eating that you do and just teach you how to work that around your stress system. But what it is about the high fat and low carb snack for that mid-sleep waking is that fats and a protein, they don't spike blood sugars, so they're not going to get that quick high and quick low crash again, waking you mid-sleep, but they're also going to satiate you more. So they're going to keep you from being hungry. They're going to balance your blood sugars a little bit more. So they are just a Band-Aid solution doing something right now because your body's not doing what it's supposed to. So try, if you are doing the mid-sleep waking, try having a snack before you go to sleep. If you do wake up, have another one. This is not something to do long-term because high fat, low carb, calories add up, and you will find that weight around your middle will increase as well. But it is going to definitely give you an indicator that it is a blood sugar issue that is waking you up mid-sleep, and it will allow you to get to sleep now until you are able to really dive in and get your stress system supported. And which for your blood sugars, there are a lot of different factors at play. So we need to go in and do all of that, which does take time. But even in our program, while we're doing that with people, they're doing that high fat, low carb snack until their body doesn't need it anymore, until their body is doing what it needs to do so that it can get itself at solid sleep. All right. Hopefully this has been helpful. If you have any questions, let me know. Let me know how this high fat, low carb snack does for your mid-sleep waking. It's always an indicator. If it's not working for you, that could just be an indicator of where your stress system is at. We have you guys that come to us at different levels. If you're in the first 5 years of service, this may be what you need. Like that may be it. But we have a lot of guys 15, 20, 25, 30 years in service. And by that time, their stress systems are off a lot more. So see how it works for you, see where it goes, see what information and data it gives you as to where your stress system is at. And try it out, see if it does help you sleep a little bit longer, even if it helps you sleep, like if you're normally a 2 to 3 hour sleeper and it lets you sleep 3 to 4 hours, that tells you that it's starting to stabilize your blood sugars, but not enough to give you that 8 hours of sleep. But it's all really good data. So take that data, let me know what comes of it. Let me know how it helps you to fall asleep. Let me know how it does with your waking mid-sleep, and keep me posted. So I'm really curious to be able to start seeing where your stress systems are at, so that, I don't know, my geeky brain just always goes and starts thinking of all the solutions on how we can be realigning it and getting it strong based on what your symptoms are and where your stress system is at. All right. If anybody would like to know anything about our program, the 911 Elite Performance Program, you can email us at support@911lifestyle.com. And we are more than happy to answer all of your questions. We do start off with asking you where your stress system is at and questions to find out even if you are a candidate for results, because I will be honest with you and let you know if you aren't, so that we can get you on a path of where is best for you to go. If it's with us, if it's not, we will definitely help you regardless of what's going on. Just let us know and we will guide you. We've got tons of other resources as well that we're more than happy to help you find the best solution for you. Again, support@911lifestyle.com, and I will see you later.